Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play Sentient. Now, Sentient was published by Rockstar Games and was designed by J. Alex Kevern. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Now, Sentient is a dice manipulation combination card dice board game that is said to be for ages 12 and up, for 2 to 4 players, and lasts 30 to 60 minutes. So I'm going to start right there. Now, the 12 and up is a pretty good estimate. You kind of need someone to be around middle school age at least. They need to understand mathematics up to the level of basic order of operations, because this is kind of a brain-burny game that actually is very mathy. Now, the 2 to 4 players, I was delighted to find that this game actually plays quite well at 2 players. It does play a little bit better at 3 and 4, but mainly because the method of passing in order to place your token, which you'll see during the game, for the turn order for next round is a little simpler at 2 players, and it's a little more back and forth at 2 players. It's actually quite fun at 2 players, and there's less possible taking of the cards you want between your turn and your next turn at 2 players, so it's actually quite good at 2 players. Now, the 30 to 60 minutes is also a pretty good guesstimate, pretty good estimate on the length of this game. This is about a mid-weight game, with 3 or 4 players getting closer to an hour, 2 players being about half an hour. But yeah, that's a pretty accurate estimate. So now, obviously, you can see the artwork on this game is very nice. It is a game that is themed off of creating robots and artificial intelligence. Though that theme is a bit pasted on, it's really much more about the mechanics, and this is a very cool mechanical game. So let's have a look at what comes in the box. So first thing we have here is a little Renegade Games catalog. Then we have the rule book. Now, this is a very well done rule book. It leaves no ambiguities. It thoroughly explains everything. Generally speaking, I would say this is an above average rule book. I think it's very well done. The next thing we have are the player boards. Now, the player boards are split into 2 parts, which you randomly deal out to players. You have the left part, which are identical except for picture and name, and the right part, which is a bit more different. You put them together, and you get a name across here. So, for instance, the random name I have here is the Capital Consortium. And it gives you a random investor that's attached to the board, which is different for each one of the boards. The different colors mean you start with a different investor. That is really the only difference on the board, other than the artwork and look of the board, as well as the name of your corporation. But these are really cool. Then we have a little board, which while it may seem a little, a tiny little possibly superfluous thing, this is actually very important. This board is for the turn order, and your actions during one round will determine your turn order during the next round, so this is quite important. Then we have a bunch of cardboard punch-out point tokens, pretty standard if you play modern board games. They are in the denominations of 1, 5, and 10. And we have cardboard punch-out investor tokens. Now these are grouped into 1, 2, and 3. They have a different color on the back, basically, if they're 1, 2, or 3, and that's because those are the investors for that round. That way, the different types of investors are evenly distributed through the first, second, and third round. Then we have some nice chunky wooden meeple-type pieces. There are the agents, which are sort of, they don't look like classic meeples, but they are meant to look like a person. So they're sort of a meeple. And then we have these wooden asterisks, which are assistant tokens, and these are used for bidding on investors while also obtaining cards, which you'll see when I'm showing you how to play the game. Then we have what is my favorite component in this game, the custom dice. So the dice are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, like a normal 6-sided die, but they have these wonderful little circuit board designs on the different faces, which I think look fantastic. And each player gets a set of 5 dice of 5 different colors, which plug into their board on the color-coded locations shown on their board. And the final bit of components in this game are these cards. They are tarot. I would think that they are tarot-sized cards. They're definitely too tall to be a standard size card. They have this on the backs of all of them, and then they have the pictures of the various robots along with the mathematical equations on the front that tell you what you need to do to be able to score the points. So for instance, this one just says the number to the left must be less than or equal to the number to the right, and that's referring to the dice that are on either side of them on the board. Some of them just might say both numbers must be even, or something very specific like you want one of the numbers to be a 1, and if both of them are a 1, you get more points. And shows you on the bottom there that if one of the numbers is a 1, you get 2 points. If both are a 1, you get 7 points, which is much better. But then some of them get a bit more complicated. For instance, this one is you earn points that are 8 minus the sum of both numbers on either side. So in this case, you want very low numbers to either side of the card. Now that is a look at everything that comes in the box for Sentient. Now we're going to take you to the table. I'm going to show you how this game plays and take you through a few turns, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to talk about how this game feels. I'm going to review it and rate it, and we're going to get a second opinion from Lynn. Okay, so here we can see a 3-player game of Sentient set up. Each player is randomly dealt a left and right board for themselves. I am playing over here, and the left and right board put together makes my corporation the Canyon Consortium, and it also makes my corporation start with a purple investor token here. There are more investors you will be able to earn through the round. The player over here, which I will also be controlling, is the Capital Corporation. And Lynn, what do you have?
I have the Nautilus Partnership.
And the Capital Corporation over here has a pink investor to start with, and you have a orange. For the Nautilus Partnership. Now, after taking your boards, you pick a color and take all of the components of your color. You randomly set up the first turn's turn order, which goes Lynn, because she is gray, followed by the player over here who is yellow, and then me, I am playing red. You shuffle up the deck, and you take all the markers marked for round 1 and randomly place them out here and deal 4 cards between them and place single point tokens under each of them. Place the deck there, the turn order here, the future investor tokens there, and you're basically ready to play. You then roll the dice and put them on your board. The board is marked with the colors of each of the dice so you know exactly where to put them. Now, in order to play this game, you're going to be playing your agents and also your assistants, and you're going to be playing them above the cards here to collect them. You're going to be plugging the cards into your board. The cards will show you plus, minus, or equal signs, which they will alter the numbers of the dice. If a minus goes below a 1, it'll turn into a 6. If a plus takes a die above a 6, it'll turn into a 1. And then the card tells you that can only be scored if certain requirements are met. In this case, the left die has to be odd, while the right die has to be even to be able to score this card at the end of the round. While with this one, the sum of the left and the right one, so left plus right, must equal 7, and this one says left plus right must either be less than or equal to 4 or greater than or equal to 10. Whereas this one, just the left number must be higher than the right number. It's much easier. Some are harder, some are easier, some are very specific. Through the game, we're going to plug our cards in and try to be able to score the most we can. In addition, having the most influence next to these investor tokens means we get them, and each of these investor tokens at the end of the game are going to be worth a point for each card that matches the color of that investor token that we have collected throughout the game. So without any further ado, we're going to take you through a round or two and show you how this game works. So Lynn, start us off, and Lynn's option is either to play a agent, possibly with assistance, or to pass, which will set her up going last for the second round. So Lynn, which are you going to choose to do?
I'm going to
play an agent.
I'm going to play an agent and an assistant.
Okay.
And take this one.
So that's a fairly easy one. That's just got to have, which she's already got it set up that way. So it might be a little tough, though, because it's set up where you have the even and the odd in the right place. The next card she places, she may need to use one of her assistants to block the plus or minus, which you can do, to keep that odd, unless she gets something else with an equal. So then she has to replace the card. Ooh, that's interesting. So either the left or the right minus the other has to equal 1. Okay. So I'm going, well, the yellow player over here is going to, let's see. They're going to place a agent and an assistant there. They're going to collect this card here, which plugs in there, and it makes each of them go down 1. So the 6 turns into a 5, while the 1 turns into a 6, which now means it meets the requirements of the number to the left being higher than the number to the right. So now it is my turn over here because I am last. And let's see. I am also going to play there with 2 assistants, and I'm going to take this card and plug it in here. The 6 turns into a 5. The 6 over here turns into a 1. And I am all finished there. So it's back to you, Len.
You have to replace
Oh,
the card.
thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna put a dude there. Take this one.
Ah.
I'm gonna put it here, but I'm gonna use one of my assistants so I don't have to change the 6.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So then 6 take away 5.
They're going to play an agent here. Take this card here, and they're going to play it there, but cover up the one. They're going to, actually, they're not going to cover anything up. They're going to let this go to a 5. And let this go to a 1. And then they're going to be finished. And then for me over here, after replacing their card, which I should definitely do, I'm going to pass. So I place my token here. I'm going to be going last next round. And because I still have agents left yet to play, I discard all of the cards and deal out new cards. Then it will be Lynn's turn as soon as I finish dealing those up.
Okay, I'm going to go here.
They're going to pass and then also discard all of the cards from there. I'm going to play there, take this card here, I'm going to plug it in there and block off the plus. That would have changed my 5. This 1 turns to a 6, and then I'm going to replace the card, and it's back around to Lynn.
I'm going to place there, take this one, use my last assistant so I don't have to change the 3. And the 6, where's the 1? There we go.
Okay. And replace the card.
Okay.
And then over here, the left one must be greater than or equal to for that, which actually works just fine. So they're going to take all this there to take this one. They're going to place it here. The 1 is going to turn into a 2. The 3 is going to turn into a 4. And they're all finished there. Then it's back around to me. And I'm, I have to replace the card. I'm going to place, I'm going to place a agent here. Taking this card, I'm going to cover up with an assistant the right negative, the left, and then that will, then I will replace that, and I'm all finished. And it's back around to Linda. She has to pass because she's already filled up her board with all the cards. Now to the yellow player. Now you do not discard all the cards when you pass if you don't have any agents left. And Lynn does not have any agents left. So now the yellow player has only one spot left open that they want, and they've got a 2 on the green die and a 4 on the red die. I guess it is red. There's so many colors that are
It's like
purplish
it's
because
like
there's like a dark purple and a light purple. So, but they want
No, that's purple, pink, red.
yeah, so they're going to place a agent and an assistant there. Take this one here, plug it in, and what they're going to do is they're going to cover up this one so the 4 stays right where it is and the 2 turns into a 3. And it's back around to me for my last play over here. And I need my 6 to go down 1, so I need a negative on the left, and there is none, so I messed up. I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, I'm going to play an agent here. I'm going to take this card. Then I'm going to cover up the right side so that the 6 turns into a 1. And then I will replace that card. And then we are done for this round. So then what we're going to do is we score our cards based on if we were able to achieve their points, and we remove them from our board. So for my board here, this one says if the left and right die added together are an even number, and they are. It's 5 plus 1 is 6. That gives me 3 points. So I remove this, and I take 3 of the single point tokens. Over here, this one says if both numbers to either side are odd, which they are, so I get 3 points for that as well. And I remove that and take the 3 points. And then over here, it says 5 minus the lower of the 2 numbers on either side, which they are both 1s. So I get another 4 points for that one. I'm going to take a 5-point chit and put a 1-point chit back. And then the last one is if I have 1 5 on either side, I get 2 points. If I had 2, I would have gotten 7. Fortunately, I only had 1, so I get 2 points. I'm going to put 3 points back in the pot and take another 5. So that's it for him there. Lynn, what do you have over there?
I have both are odd, so I get 3 points.
Very good.
Then I have both added together are greater than or equal to 9. They equal 9 exactly.
Perfect. How many points is that worth?
That is 4 points.
Oh, that's a good one.
This one is the left minus the right equals 1, and it does equal 1. That's another 4 points.
Oh, very nice.
And then the left is odd and the right is even is another 4 points.
Very well done. Then over here we have that the left is greater than the right, which it is, so that is worth 4 points. They get 2, 4. I'll remove their card there. Then over here they have the left plus the right equals 7, which it does, which gives them 5 points. That's a very high scoring card. Here they have the left is greater than or equal to the right, which it is, which is worth 3 points. So they're going to put 2 of their point chits back in and take a 5er. And then one of the numbers on either side minus the other equals 1, which it is. They have a 4 and a 3, and that is worth 4 points. They're going to put 1 back in, plus a 5, and take a 10-point chit there. Then we have to see which of the investors we have succeeded in obtaining. So you get a point for every agent and assistant that you have next to said investor. Whoever has the most points next to that investor will get that investor. If there's a tie, the most agents wins it. If there's still a tie, you win it in the current turn order that we had for this round. So over here, it is 4 for yellow, 2 for gray. So yellow gets the military investor. Over here, they've on both sides, and yellow has 6. So by far and away, they get the information investor, not a problem. Then over here, it's 2 for yellow, 2 for red, but 3 for gray. So gray gets the industry investor over here. Then over here, it's 5 for gray, 5 for red. So there's a tie, but red has 3 agents, Gray has 3 agents. There's still a tie, so we go in turn order. Gray gets it because they were first in the turn order. And the final space over there, red gets it. It's the only one I got was the transport one there. So at that point, we also see who has the second most, and they get the points here as a consolation. So Gray got a point there. Over here where yellow won it, Gray got a point again. Over here where it was Gray that had the most, red had the second, so I get that. And over there where red got it, it looks like Gray had it, so they get that. And over in the last place where red got it, it looks like it was a tie between yellow and Gray, but we go in turn order, so Gray got that one. Then we all take back our tokens here to our location. And after taking all of our tokens back, we also take back our turn order tokens from the previous round. And this will be our new turn order for this round. We then flip up the new investor tokens onto the top of the area here and give each one of them another point chit under them. And we start the next round. We do this for 3 rounds and then have a final scoring round, after which whoever has the most points wins. And the points are simple. You have points for all of the cards you have scored for each round, and then each of your investor tokens will be worth 1 point for each card you have scored of its color. So they kind of are point multipliers in a way. Whoever has the highest points at the end of the game is the winner of the game of Sentient. So now we're going to head back to the table. I'm going to talk about how this game feels. I'm going to review it and rate it, and we're going to get a second opinion from Lynn. Welcome back. So that was how you play a 3-player game of Sentient. Now, I only didn't show a 2-player game because, like I said, I like to have at least 3 players just to show you the initiative and how when you pass, you're throwing your lot in to be later in the initiative for the next round than other people who haven't passed yet. And on a 2-player game that, with the back and forth, it often just, there's actually very little change in initiative order unless you really want to get rid of all the cards that are out there in a 2-player game. I would say the change in initiative order happens maybe half the time that it normally happens in a 3 or 4-player game in a 2-player game. That being said, 2-player is quite fun, and this is an amazingly brain-burny game that is a lot of fun. I love trying to plan ahead and being like, oh my god, should I, there's not a lot of equals out there. Should I let this number change even though it's changing to something I don't want because I still have to play another card to the other side, and that's going to change the number again, and I can plan ahead and try to plan to try to grab a plus on the right, or am I risking too much? Is it too hard? There's only one plus out there on the right side of a card, and someone could take it, and there's no guarantee another one would come up. And that kind of debating is great. I love the mathy and brain-burning nature of this, and this is a game where you really, really want to play towards trying to collect the right combinations of cards, because if you can collect, say, a lot of green cards and a lot of green investor tokens, those green investor tokens are going to be worth a huge amount of points. If you just willy-nilly grab all random different color investors and different color cards, you're not going to win. You really have to try to focus in and do a couple specific colors if you can. This game is a lot of fun. This game definitely has a huge learning curve because of how brain-burning it is. But this is a game that has, in my opinion, infinite replayability. And I thoroughly enjoy this game. I've been loving it since I bought it, which this was one of my Gen Con 2017 purchases. And for all those reasons, and for the fact that I'll play this anytime someone asks, and I asked to play it a lot, and I've brought it to many game nights, I am giving Sentient 8 out of 10 stars. 8 is a really high score. I really enjoy this game. But let's get a second opinion. Lynn, how many stars out of 10 would you give to Sentient?
6.
So now, Lynn says she likes this game, but she needs to be in the mood to play it. And it's not a big surprise to me because Lynn generally doesn't enjoy mathy games as much as I do. In fact, games with a lot of math tend to turn her off. But, that being said, I love this game, and that's why I gave it 8 stars. So 8 stars from me, 6 stars from Lynn. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns either on this video or on the game of Sentient, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review and tutorial video and would like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media that you may have, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.